Welcome, sir. So good to see you and congratulations. Sir, I told you, sir. Sir, ये सारे records तोड़ेगी. I told you ना, sir. So what do you have to say, sir? Like some थोड़ा compliments मुझे भी चाहिए, sir.
Congratulations on guessing it first.
So we'll start with Charan bhai. Sir, please tell me, ये एक ना कुछ वो poking चलता है ना? हाँ, what is it? What is it? And why do we do it? Like you've been bothering sir and how? वो क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा?
हेलो
दोनों नहीं आप तो सबसे आगे हो सर.
हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग. आपका जवाब क्या बोलूं, मेरे को तो टिकलिंग क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में, गुदगुदी नहीं आता है सर.
अच्छा.
और फील भी नहीं होता. हाँ. सिर्फ इनको आता है.
ओके. तारक भाई एक बार बताइएगा उनको आता है कि नहीं आता है?
नहीं आता है
गुदगुदी आता है.
ऑफ स्क्रीन आता है.
we'll definitely talk about this गुदगुदी. लेकिन ladies and gentlemen, बॉक्स ऑफिस पे जो गुदगुदी मची है, ऐसी गुदगुदी आज तक नहीं मची है, and that too global level पे. तो गाड़ा साहब प्लीज मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, how did this thing happen? Like प्लीज मुझे आज बता दीजिए सीक्रेट कि इसकी शुरुआत कैसे हुई. राजामौली सर से, हमारे सुपरस्टार्स से, या दनाया सर से? कहाँ से ये शुरू हुआ था सब?
सबसे पहले तो मैं सबको थैंक यू बोलूँगा कि राजामौली जी, जूनियर NTR, रामचरण जी, धनया जी और कार्तिकेय जी सब लोग हमारी इनविटेशन पे आए. हमारी डील की शुरुआत धनया जी से हुई थी. मैंने पहले भी बोला है, शायद आपने सुना होगा. और इन्होंने मदद की कि ये फिल्म कैसे भी करके मेरे पास आए और राजामौली जी तक हम पहुँचे. कार्तिकेय ने बड़ा रोल निभाया इसमें. यस, कार्तिकेय ने
लेकिन
कार्तिकेय ने बड़ा रोल निभाया हम दोनों के बीच में अंडरस्टैंडिंग करवाने के लिए. और मुझे याद है वो 31 मार्च को हम लोग रात को 12 बजे तक बैठे थे, तभी एग्रीमेंट साइन किया था. तो धनया जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच. धनया जी DBV बैनर के ओनर हैं. इन्होंने बड़ी फिल्में बनाई हैं, आगे भी बना रहे हैं और मुझे लगता है कि आगे भी मुझे हैंडल करने देंगे.
सर आपने बोला 31 मार्च को ये साइन हुई थी, तो मतलब आने वाले न जाने कितने सारे फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स जो हैं सर, आपने उनमें उथल-पुथल मचा दी है पूरी. अब व्हाट आर वी लुकिंग एट सर? व्हाट इज दैट फिगर दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट? बिकॉज़ 1000 crores हो गया ना एकदम ऐसे. अभी कहाँ तक जाने वाली है सर? दिस इज जस्ट द बिगिनिंग.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए मैं मेरे पार्टनर संजय छत्तर और अमिताभ लोढ़ा जी संभालते हैं. और उन्होंने अच्छा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया. मुझे लगता है कि रामचरण जी, जूनियर NTR और राजामौली जी खुश है. उनके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में कोई शक नहीं है. और ये वैसे भी इतनी बड़ी हो गई है और रोज़ चल रही है, तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि अभी इसके लिए कुछ बोलना है. अभी नंबर देखते रहेंगे. अभी तो 1000 ही हुए हैं.
ओहो, अभी देखते जाइए, अभी तो शुरुआत है, आगे बड़ी बात है. सर, दिस वंस फॉर यू. एज आई सेड, यू नो, आवर फेवरेट स्टोरी टेलर. Are you kind of relieved? Like, of course, I did not see that pressure when we spoke the last time also. But are you kind of relieved now when the results are out और अब इतना सारा प्यार मिल रहा है? What do you have to say on that, sir?
Yeah, absolutely relieved because the film was getting postponed so many times, and because of the pandemic, and we were very unsure about the occupancy of the theaters. I mean, from the audience side, I never had a doubt. From the audience side, I always believed that once the film is out, they are going to come to the theaters. But from the health department side, we didn't know. Suddenly, the governments were giving orders to shut it down completely, 50%, 25%, 75%. So we didn't know what was coming when. So that was a bit of anxious moments, for not just for me, for all the films. And once all the theaters opened, RRR brought the audience back to the theaters. That is the biggest achievement for me.
Right, and we can see that hidden in that smile Rajamouli sir ke chehre pe jo is samay. Tarak bhai, this one's for you. You know, we've talked about the action, we've talked about the emotion, we've talked about the songs. There's another thing, the very important thing, and that is, it's a nod to our freedom fighters. एक बहुत ही खास चीज़, कुछ ऐसे लोग जिनको आप फोरफ्रंट पे लेके आए, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे काम किए थे, लेकिन शायद उनके बारे में बहुत सारे लोगों को नहीं पता था. What do you have to say on that, sir?
See, I think it's
there's so many stories hidden in our culture, in our country, that these stories need to be told to the coming generations. He was one of the very few lucky people who's read them, who's heard them. Me or Charan are lucky people, a few lucky people that we know them. And I think it is our duty, our responsibility to pass them to the next generation. And films like RRR and directors, filmmakers like Rajamouli, when they make films like this, not only are they making us go down the memory lane, but they're giving it to the next generation also. So I really feel, me or Charan, we feel really blessed to have been a part of this great movie called RRR, where we had the chance to pass it forward to the next generations. So I'm really thankful, very, very, very grateful to Rajamouli, and very grateful to the audiences of our country. They've proved once again that when they love something, when they like something, they don't take it into their heart, but they take it and put it on their head.
Absolutely. And it's not just in our country, sir. मतलब globally मैं बात करूं, और मैंने सुना है बाकी गैलेक्सीज से भी लोग आ रहे हैं और वो टिकट ऑफिसेस पे जाके RRR इस टाइप की चीजें हो रही है सर. We won't be surprised if we get to see a जादू at the box office, you know. मुझे भी चाहिए RRR. Ram Charan sir, this one's for you, please. Just one thing, you know, this movie, as I said, action है, drama है, emotion है. It takes all of us, like the cine lovers, एक अलग हाई पे, you know, it leaves you there. जब फिल्म खत्म होती है, for you, the movie has ended, the process has ended. What do you have to say on that?
I think it's been a long journey for us from 2018 onwards to 21. जितना हमने enjoy किया ये movie बनाने में, I think when I sneaked into Galaxy Theatre, and thanks to Rajamouli Garu in the south, he sneaked me into another theatre, I truly saw the reactions of people. Like you said, we danced, we had emoted beautifully, and he had a master storyteller. But the audience in North have danced with us, emoted with us, felt bad for us, and again we fought, we rose or revolted. Together I felt. It was not like the audience and me, it was just become a one unit when I saw in the theatre. I called Rajamouli sir immediately and I said, they were so particular, saying, when you rose the scene, they also rose along. When you calmed down, they also calmed down. When you wanted them to dance, they danced. I think I made RRR, or I was part of RRR. So I didn't make, sorry. I was part of RRR for one reason, just to see India's reaction, and I saw it. And these numbers definitely matter, but the reactions I saw in Galaxy and another theatre, it will be with me and stay with me forever. Thank you so much, India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to this entire wonderful team. Gada Saab, thank you.
अजय जी हियर जी. भावना शर्मा, नव भारत. मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि अभी अभी हमने आपका एक सॉन्ग देखा, जननी. इतना मेस्मराइजिंग, इतना खूबसूरत कि मैं बता नहीं सकती हूँ उसका एक्सपीरियंस. राजामौली जी का जो सिनेमा है वो बहुत अलहदा है, ये तो हम जानते हैं, बहुत अलग तरह का है. लेकिन आप खुद एक डायरेक्टर हैं, तो डायरेक्टर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आपको उनकी क्या चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा अपील की, बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रेसिव?
राजामौली जी का जो सिनेमा है वो अलग नहीं है, वो एक ही सिनेमा है, इनका ही सिनेमा है सिर्फ। कोई और उस किस्म का सिनेमा बनाने की कोशिश करता भी होगा तो आई थिंक बहुत मुश्किल है अचीव करना। सो इनकी सोच बहुत बड़ी के अलावा बिल्कुल अलग है। एंड आई रिमेंबर हिम टेलिंग मी, और बहुत अर्दी है। और इन्होंने मुझे एक बात बताई थी, ये इन्होंने कैरेक्टर्स की स्टडी कहाँ से की है, और हर रोज़ ये हर नए किस्म की नए वर्जन की एक महाभारत पढ़ते हैं। और महाभारत एक ऐसी है कि उसमें दुनिया का कोई कैरेक्टर नहीं बचा जो उसमें नहीं है। आप कोई भी कैरेक्टर पकड़ लीजिए दुनिया के किसी कोने से, वो वहीं से निकला हुआ होगा। सो आई थिंक वो जो कैरेक्टराइजेशन करते हैं और वो जो उस हिसाब से सोचते हैं और कैरेक्टर्स के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचते हैं, आई थिंक इट इज़ फैबुलस।
Hi, sir. Over here, straight. I have two questions, one for Rajamouli sir and one for NTR sir. This is Himesh from Pink Villa.
Himesh.
Hi, sir. Firstly, the trailer looks outstanding, so congratulations on that. Rajamouli sir, my first question to you is, NTR sir is actually known to be fire in Telugu cinema, and Ram Charan sir is known to be the ice. And you have cast them as a contrast over here. So could you tell us the idea behind casting the two of them as fire and ice in a contrasting way?
To tell it commercially, if I show them how the other directors have shown them, then I won't be special. So I want to be special, and so I. But see why I chose them for that characters is the characterization itself. Right, there are certain aspects of Bhim that can be portrayed only by NTR. There are certain portions, certain characteristics of Ram that can be portrayed only by Charan. So the characters made me choose them for their roles rather than their images. Yeah.
Okay. And NTR sir, firstly, welcome to Mumbai and welcome to Hindi cinema
Thank
with
you.
RRR.
Thank you so much.
So my question to you is, do you believe an SS Rajamouli film is the perfect vehicle for any actor to, go to a pan-India film? Because after this, your lineup are all, multilinguals, be it Kotala, Shiva, or the other films, Prashant, all the... So do you think this is the perfect vehicle for you to enter into this space?
Absolutely. Why not? Seriously, absolutely.
And
Yeah, it's like, especially when you... See, let me not talk about the business aspect in this, but as an actor, for me, Rajamouli has been one director who's always satisfied my thirst of wanting to do something new. Something, an actor should not be very comfortable. He should not. And Rajamouli is one of the very, very, very few directors who's tickled that part in me. It's not only the films he does with me, but in general also, when we discuss, he's been a very close friend for a very long time in my life. And when I discuss scripts, he's this person in my life who pushes me to get out of my comfort zone. And as you said, being a part of RRR has really opened out a lot of doors for me as an actor. I'm very happy to accept it also.
Thank you so much and looking forward.
Thank you, Umesh. Thanks a lot.
I don't think so. I don't think there is any space that he's not comfortable with. He's lying.
Hello, Rajamouli sir, just next to him. Russell De Silva from Bollywood Live. First of all, I have to repeat it again to everyone who's saying this. Congratulations to the entire team. This trailer is probably one of the best we've ever seen in world cinema. So, congratulations on that. What I wanted to ask you first, Rajamouli sir, is that after Bahubali, it's obviously that kind of expectations are too high everywhere, throughout the country, throughout the world. Now, when you're making a movie as an artist, as a creator, you have to concentrate on the subject. But how difficult it is also to know that everybody is expecting a bigger movie than Bahubali, and everybody is expecting a bigger performance at the box office than Bahubali. How do you separate that?
Well, there is obviously a lot of people will be expecting the same kind of film after Bahubali, but we can't keep making the same films again and again. But the trick is, if you look deeply, they are not looking the audience are not waiting for another Bahubali. They are waiting for the kind of experience they had in the film, the kind of emotion they felt in the film. That is what they want. But they can't tell you that. They don't have that much of analyzation to tell you that. So they'll simply say, we need another Bahubali. But what people want is the same kind of emotion, the same kind of highs that they got in the film. And again, I'm aware of the kind of expectations the people have. Like I said, I will be banking more on the story, on the characters, and the relationship between the characters, and the emotional highs that we get when we watch the characters. And anyone, any section of audiences that come to the theater, the trailers or your previous track records or the heroes' images, everything will only help us bring them to the theater. The moment they come into the theaters, 2-3 minutes into the film, they will be watching what the film is, not what we did before. Right? So I'll be banking more on my story and my emotions rather than my previous track record.
Also, sir, there was a time in the 80s and up till the early 90s, we did see this kind of pan-India cinema, which it has now become a regular word. The word didn't exist back then. There was like Giraftar, where Amitabh Bachchan, Rajnikant's Kamal Hassan came together. There was Anda Kanun. There was Pratibandh with Chiranjeevi sir and Juhi Chawla. Looking back, do you think so that you are starting that trend again of getting all these big stars of different industries together and making that thing again?
Yeah, first of all, I believe, if I told that many times before, if you believe on your core storytelling, you don't need to worry about languages. No, whether it is Telugu, Tamil, South, Hindi, Northeastern, it doesn't matter, because the language is just a medium of communication. What is actually communicating to the people is the story that we are telling. Words are just small bridges. The visuals are in cinema, the visual is what tells you the story. And the language doesn't matter. When the language doesn't matter, you are banking on which is the best actor to suit the role. For example, I have the character played by Ajay sir. No, I didn't approach him because I have a relationship with him. I didn't approach him because, okay, I have a Tarak and Charan from Tamil and we have Ajay sir from the north, then it will have a big, nice commercial combination. That is not how I approach it. When we are writing the character, we think who has the image that can carry this role. The immediate name that propped up in all our story department is Ajay Devgn. I immediately called him and said, sir, I need 15 minutes of your time. And I narrated him his role. The first question he asked me is, when do you need my dates? So when things fall in place, they fall in place that way, when you approach it in the right way. Of course, commercials are important to everyone, but if your story leads your way, then everything will fall into place.
And one last small question to Junior NTR sir, because this is the first time. Big fan. Ajay Lava Kusa, Janata Garage are two of my favorite movies.
Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to ask, when you're doing a Rajamouli film, people know that you have to not dedicate dates, you have to dedicate years to that movie. It is
Basically dedicating your whole lifetime.
Yes. So between Aravinda Sameta and then now this is coming RRR, how many movies that you were offered and you had to let it go by because you know this is too special?
I was offered only one movie, RRR. Do you think even someone would even dare come up and ask for your dates when Rajamouli is doing a movie? Impossible.
Somebody may have guts.
नहीं वैसा नहीं होता है यार. You know, it's like you just have to. I mean, नहीं. You know, this doesn't happen in our industry when you're working for a movie with Jakanna. You're there. You know you're in there for a long time, and you have to accept it. The sooner you accept, the better it is.
Alia ji, on your left. Hi. On your left. Hi. आलिया जी, आजकल का जो सबसे ट्रेंडिंग अल्फाबेट है वो है R. So आपकी भी लाइफ में एक बहुत बड़े R हैं, तो आप मानती हैं कि R बहुत लकी फैक्टर है आपके लिए?
I'm stumped. मेरे पास जवाब नहीं है. I'm trying to be intelligent right now. I don't have a good answer. G. R is a lovely alphabet, but so is A. Should I tell them the true story? तो actually story बहुत interesting है because I bumped into Rajamouli sir at the airport. He was just coming back from something and I was going to Hyderabad for a shoot and I said, sir, I want to work with you. And he said, you know, he was very gracious and said, yes, I would love to work with you as well. I said, sir, I'll do anything. Just give me a part in your film. I want to work with you. It was a casual meeting. We just, you know, it just happened. And at the end of that, he said, actually, I do have something, but I'm not sure. I wasn't sure whether I should approach you. I'm not sure about your timeline. And I said, I couldn't believe my luck, firstly. I couldn't believe that there was actually something for me. I said, sir, whatever it is, I'll come, I'll meet you. And then, of course, it became more legitimate. We did a Zoom call. Then I went to Hyderabad, and sir took me through the, you know, the film. And as I said, I would do, you know, walk-on part on sir's film because just being a part of his vision and his cinema is, like I said, a dream come true for me. But my reaction was purely like, and he was speaking about the character earlier. He said it's very important for me that you match the character because Sita is very, very loved. And the representation of, you know, the way you portray her on screen, your look, the way you speak, your energy, everything has to be up to the mark because, you know, I have to live up to the audience's visualization and characterization that they already have of her. So I took that very, very seriously and I worked for a year on my lines. I said, so I won't let you down. I think the most scary part was I had to speak in Telugu. I think I managed eventually.
Hello, मेरा सवाल अजय सर. Hello sir, you're left. मेरा सवाल अजय सर, आलिया मैम और NTR सर तीनों से है. राहुल हियर फ्रॉम द फिल्मी चर्चा. क्रांतिकारियों की कुर्बानी की बात करें तो हम आम इंसान बस देखते हैं, सुनते हैं, किताबों में पढ़े हैं, लेकिन आपके लिए बहुत गर्व की बात है कि आप लोग उस कहानी के हिस्सा बने हैं और ऑन स्क्रीन कैरेक्टर प्ले कर रहे हैं, उस किरदार का हिस्सा हैं आप. तो हम लोग महसूस नहीं कर सकते, क्या आप लोग कुछ फील करते हैं उनकी कुर्बानी, उनकी लड़ाई और इसमें प्ले करते वक्त कुछ ऐसा? तीनों बारी बारी से आंसर.
कुछ कैरेक्टर्स ऐसे होते हैं जब आप बहुत कुछ महसूस करते हैं. मुझे याद है कि एक ऐसा कैरेक्टर जो मैंने प्ले किया था, जो मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा महसूस किया था, उनका नाम था भगत सिंह. क्योंकि उनकी जब हम कहानियाँ सुनते थे कि वो जो फिल्म में था वो तो ठीक है, जो असली ज़िंदगी में भी वो क्या थे, उनके आई थिंक 90 से ऊपर की उम्र के भाई हमारे सेट पे आया करते थे और वो जब कहानियाँ सुनाते थे तो आपका पूरा थॉट प्रोसेस आपकी ऐसे लगता है कि अगर 6 महीने और शूटिंग चलती तो आप एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग बदल जाते. मतलब कि इतना फ़र्क पड़ता है कई बार.
हेलो राजमौली गारू.
एक सेकंड सर, I'll come to you.
Well, I have done a film called Razi where I played character of an unsung hero, and I think I completely agree with Ajay sir that अगर आप 6 महीने और या 3 महीने और 1 महीने और you live that character, you really feel, because हम imagine नहीं कर सकते हैं what, you know, they have to do, what they go through and how they put their lives at stake, you know, for the country and for their people. हम imagine भी नहीं कर सकते हैं. So living through the, you know, beats of the character and the psychology and what they go through is just a small part of it. उन्होंने वो actually गुजरे उससे. So of course I would not say the awe and the appreciation and that the unimaginable gratitude that we feel, ये सिर्फ शब्द है जो actually गुजरते, especially the families, you know, that, you know, understand them and support them. It's another world altogether. So I think, जैसे I said, हम जितना भी कहें वो कम होगा.
I didn't get your name. Rahul. Brother, कुछ characters ऐसे होते हैं कि पैदाशी से जब, you know, we've heard their stories. हम उनकी कहानियां सुन के बड़े हुए हैं. तो जब ऐसे कैरेक्टर्स करने के लिए when you have an opportunity, हम बस मेमोरी लेन में चले जाते हैं और बस you start remembering those stories. And somewhere you feel that you really don't need to work hard for it. क्योंकि तुम्हारी जिंदगी के ऑलरेडी वो हिस्सा बन चुके हैं. So you're playing yourself there. You're not playing some character. So these are the freedom fighters, these are the great people who've become a part of your life already. So you're playing yourself.
Alia?
So there wasn't a special effort for this. And of course, when you have a director like Rajamouli, who is ready to guide you, it becomes very easy. I'm trying here. You know, if there's, no, but if there are any mistakes, please, you know, I'm ready to accept it, but thank you.
Alia, hi, this is Vinamru from Midday. So my question to you is that when you were finalized to play the character of Sita, as an actor, what were your emotions like on the first day of the shoot and the last day of the shoot?
Emotions? I was very excited, but I was also very nervous because it's an unknown language. I mean, I know the language, I've studied, and I've gone through my part, I've ruttoed it, I'm sitting every day with my coach, and I'm going through it. But at the end of the day, I think maybe in Hindi or English, I don't think in Telugu, but I was very nervous because I wanted to portray the line, give the right pauses, give the right... But once I went on set, I realized that Sir had done everything for me. It was literally, I would not say, he made it so much easier on me because he's so clear exactly what he wants, every line, every shot, every emotion. And then I was just observing. Then I was like, literally like an audience and, you know, watching him. He would also perform it in front of the camera and he would do this, and then I would try and imitate him and do the same thing. So the emotions were excitement to get it right. And of course, once it was done, I was quite sad when I experienced with Sir's over, but hopefully I'll have another one.
రాజమౌళి గారు థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్ మళ్ళీ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చినందుకు. ఎన్టీఆర్ అన్న గారు థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్ ముంబైకి వచ్చినందుకు. నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే మీ అన్నగారు ఎన్టీఆర్ అన్న గారు మీకు బిగ్గెస్ట్ డిఫికల్టీ ఎప్పుడు అనిపించింది సార్ షూటింగ్లోన, అంటే ఆర్ఆర్ఆర్ షూటింగ్లోన?
Okay, his question was...
I understood the question. What was the biggest difficulty while shooting the film RRR? I've understood. Let me tell you, on set before you answer that question, NTR and Ram Charan were always talking to each other in Telugu in front of me, and I was always looking like one tennis ball, left, right, center, waiting for somebody to translate it to me. Now I'll start translating.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
There
were so many times we really felt that, you know what, we should not talk in Telugu and make sure we speak in English or Hindi so that Alia understands what we're talking about.
No, you all were purposely.
No, that maybe we were rehearsing our lines or dialogues or whatever. But yeah, every part of shooting for RRR was really demanded a lot from us. As actors, as individuals, we really had to put in our heart and soul for it. Because that man there has put in that much of belief in us, so we'll have to deliver it. We had to. So every part of shooting for RRR was really difficult, especially the action sequences were, oh my God, they were torturous.
Sir,
Thank
yeah.
you so much, sir.
Who's your left? Sir? Yeah.
Just a second. He wants to complete. Just a second.
Okay.
I'll come to you. Please.
సార్ మేము మిస్ అవుతున్నాం సార్ రామ్ చరణ్ గారు ఇక్కడ రాలేనందుకు.
మేము కూడా చాలా మిస్ అవుతున్నాం. అక్కడ there was a sudden puja in the wedding ceremony which he had to attend to. So we really tried until the last minute to bring him in, but you know how the pujaris are. You know, so, yeah. We have to obey them.
मैम एक डायलॉग तेलुगु में बोल सकते हो क्या? एनटीआर सर ने अभी
హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చినప్పుడు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడదాం.
Thank you so much. Yes, please.
Next, please.
Yeah. Sir, NTR sir.
Yes.
Basically the hook step what we are saying currently, Naatu. The step has been very much famous in like short period of time. There has been more than 10,000 reels are saying up. There are more hits on it where you see more 10 lakhs of views and likes are there on your completely one that hook step in very short period of time. I just want to know how much time it took for you to practice that and the bond because that's quite a kind of tuning with the step. Was it so easy or tough?
It was actually a very easy step. I'm not trying to tell you it's a very tough step. A very easy step, yeah. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's it. No, it's actually very easy. But I don't know. It's him who's made it feel very tough. we were, because of the pandemic, we couldn't shoot here in India. So he took us all the way to Kiev in Ukraine and tortured us there. I mean, 18 takes for that step. Purely because he wanted us to, he would sit in front of the monitor and step freeze the step so that the coordination, the sync between me and Charan is like on dot. I mean, how can you do it? I went up to him and said, see, both of us have different styles of dancing. So as a director, bring that style together. He's like, no. I said, it is my style.
Because it was Rajamouli sir's style, na? It was his
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. So every day, well, I don't know, even the weather was so, like we were very unlucky. The sun would set at 8 in the night and would rise at 6 in the morning. So 8 ke baad, 9 baje tak, he would make us go through the rehearsal, again start off at 6 in the morning. So I was like, why did we do these rehearsals when you're automatically any which way is going to take 20 takes there?
Okay, Rajamouli sir, one more
torturous.
question. Okay, Rajamouli sir, one more question to you. Sir, Rajamouli sir, yeah, one more question.
I'll come to you.
Sir, you have done a movie like Magadir, and like Rajamouli sir, yeah.
Okay.
Magadir, Bahubali, yeah, which were like a great hit in South and which were accepted worldwide currently. And now you have come up with RRR, which is a great combination of Bollywood and South combination together. So is it a new trend going to be in future where we can see more of Bollywood and South actors collaborating together and seeing such kind of movie?
Yeah, I think so. It is just a mental block that North actors have to act only in Hindi films and South actors have to act only in the South Indian languages. It's just a mental block. At the end of, see, why we cast them is because they are great actors. And acting doesn't have a language. So it is just a mental block that we have. Once we remove the mental block, then we have a big array of actors whom you can approach and say, see, this is the kind of character that we have. Are you interested? And I'm not an actor, but I'm pretty sure all of them want to do challenging characters. So if they have more directors approaching from different languages and showing them, asking them, this is the kind of character I have written for you, I think they also will be very interested. I think, yes, in future you will be seeing more collaborations in languages.
Hi, this is Sarita Singh.
नहीं, जैसे कि कह रहे हैं, आई थिंक कल को कुछ भी हो सकता है. हम सब अच्छे लोग, अच्छे टेक्नीशियंस, अच्छा काम करना चाहते हैं सब मिलके. और अगर दो एनर्जीज और ये साथ में मिलके अगर बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकती हैं तो व्हाई नॉट.
Hi, this
Frankly, I didn't receive any offers from Hollywood, but whether, see, like I said, I want to make Indian films, whether it's Hollywood or whatever. I would like to make Indian films. Even if I get an offer from some other industry, I would want to make an Indian film, Indian story, and present it to them. Wow. That's how I want to.
Hi, this is Sarita Singh from FIFA Poos, Rajamouli sir and entire team. First of all, thank you so much for this wonderful trailer. Each frame of it is sure treat to watch. I'm just waiting. मेरा सवाल अजय देवगन और NTR से है कि आप दोनों बहुत बड़े सुपरस्टार्स हो. दोनों का अपना एक ऑरा है, दोनों का अपना एक स्टाइल है. आप दोनों का एक दूसरे के साथ काम करने का एक्सपीरियंस कैसा रहा? और साथ ही साथ मैं चाहूंगी कि अजय देवगन आता माजी सटकली बोले और NTR जी उसे कॉपी करें और ये एक परफेक्ट कॉम्बिनेशन होगा जब फैंस जाकर के आप दोनों को साथ में देखेंगे.
First of all, I would just like to tell you something.
Don't tell anything. Please.
I mean, it's, please do not even compare me with Ajay sir for his seniority, for a man he is. We were kids. We grew up watching his films, and he was our very own action superstar then and even now. So I still remember his entry in Phul Aur Khante, you know, where he was standing on top of a bike, and I was like, yaar, aisa kaise ho sakta hai, yaar, can I do it? And my mom was like, no. This is movie and it happens only in movies. This doesn't happen in real life. I mean, like, see, I've watched my grandfather's films, my uncle's films. You know, we've watched a lot of films. But that entry for me was like crazy. So please, you know, when I worked with him, with Ajay sir, it was like working with a guru. I mean, like we didn't have the opportunity to, sorry, Shakana, to share screen space with him. But the small opportunity I had to go and like visit the sets when he was working, it really felt very, you know, it was, you know, I cherished it a lot. You know, seeing such a gentleman, and that's about it for me. That's my feeling.
जैसा कि इन्होंने कहा, anyways, thank you for making me feel so old.
I was expecting that.
But हाँ, हमारा काम स्क्रीन पे हम साथ में नहीं है फिल्म में, but शूटिंग के वक्त इन्होंने विजिट किया था, and it was we had a great time. We had lunch together, and it was lovely.
आता माझी सटकली.
साथ में नहीं, I'll say you repeat. आता माझी सटकली.
आता माझी सटकली. That's from Singham, right?
ठीक है. जयंती सर here. कटप्पा. इतनी बड़ी फिल्म और ट्रेलर बहुत अमेजिंग, बहुत प्रॉमिसिंग लग रहा है. जयंती सर, आपसे सवाल है, इतनी बड़ी टीम का हिस्सा होना, इतने बड़े प्रोजेक्ट के पीछे बैकअप के लिए खड़े रहना, क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप? और जिस तरह का रेस्पॉन्स आज मिल रहा है ट्रेलर को, डू यू थिंक हाफ द बैटल इज वॉन?
सबसे पहले तो राजामौली जी की फिल्म मतलब सोचना ही नहीं था, लेकिन जैसे इन्होंने बोला लैंग्वेज और बैरियर नहीं होता, मेरे साथ बहुत हुआ, क्योंकि धनया जी प्रोड्यूसर हैं और इनको हिंदी नहीं आती, मुझे इंग्लिश नहीं आती. तो मतलब हम लोग नंबर पे ही पेपर पे लिखते थे और एक दूसरे को समझते थे कि हम राजामौली जी तक कैसे भी करके कन्विंस करके ये मुझे इस फिल्म का हिस्सा बनाएंगे. तो मुझे कोई ऐसा ये नहीं था कि और दूसरा इनकी फिल्म जो हमें हमारे पार्टनर हैं संजय जी, अमिताभ जी, जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं पेन मरुधर, और हम लोग की टीम ये पहली फिल्म होगी जो हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे देखने मिलेगी. कभी पार्टनरशिप नहीं होती कि जी पे आने वाली फिल्म स्टार पे नहीं दिखती, तो ये पहली फिल्म होगी कि जो हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे देखने मिलेगी.
मेरा
दो आखिरी सवाल लेंगे.
हाँ, मैं प्लीज NTR, थैंक यू सो मच जो आपने अजय सर के लिए कहा, और हम सब उस बात से इत्तेफाक करते हैं और एग्री करते हैं. इज वन ऑफ द फैंटास्टिक एक्टर वी हैव इन द इंडस्ट्री. राजामौली सर, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, बहुत सुल्तान मिर्जा, मलिक, अनगिनत किरदार, आप खाली अजय देवगन का नाम डालिए और आपको लगेगा जहन में दुनिया भर के किरदार आ जाएंगे. ट्रेलर वाकई में बहुत बढ़िया है, लेकिन फिर भी मुझे लगा कि अजय सर जब बहुत कम आए हैं वो दुखता है. कहीं कोई इंटेंशनल करा है आपने कि सरप्राइज पैकेज होगा, इस वजह से रखा है ऐसा?
It is not the duration that matters. It is the impact that matters.
Alia, what's your take on this? Impact is matter.
I agree. I do, no, and I'm not genuine. I genuinely mean it. I think it's what effect you have on the storyline of the film. You know, and sometimes you don't need, एक look ही कर जाता है, एक dialogue ही कर जाता है. It's the way you are presented, and that one moment or those two moments or whatever, doesn't matter. It's how you fit in the storyline. So I feel कि big, small, duration वो सब, that's just, you know, coffee table conversation. That doesn't matter.
अजय सर, अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहें?
नहीं, बिल्कुल. कहानी के लिए कितना ज़रूरी है वो किरदार. कई कैरेक्टर्स 2 मिनट, 5 मिनट, 10 मिनट, 15 मिनट या आधा घंटा, जितनी भी देर के लिए स्क्रीन पे होते हैं. बट आप सोचते कई बार कास्टिंग करते वक्त कि अगर मैं अपने कैरेक्टर की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, जनरली कुछ कैरेक्टर्स इतने इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं कहानी के बेस के लिए कि आपको उसमें ऐसा कोई इंसान चाहिए होता है जो एक इम्पैक्ट छोड़ के जाए। तो कई बार हम ऐसे बहुत सारे एक्टर्स के पास जाते हैं कि यार इट्स नॉट द लेंथ, लेकिन ये कर दो बिकॉज इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द फिल्म, और वो सब समझते हैं और उस हिसाब से करते हैं। तो बेसिकली लेंथ की बात नहीं है, वो कैरेक्टर कहानी के लिए कितना जरूरी है वो ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट।
Alright,
एक सवाल है।
जी
जयंती भाई, आपसे एक सवाल है कि अक्सर ये कहा जाता है कि हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री, लेकिन इस फिल्म इंडस्ट्री का हम भी हिस्सा है, अगर थिएटर्स में फिल्म नहीं चलती हैं तो हमारे लिए भी बहुत नुकसान होता है, हम किसके लिए लिखेंगे? तो मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि जिस तरह से सूर्यवंशी के बाद ये आस हमारी थोड़ी सी कम हो गई थी, वो इस फिल्म के साथ कितनी ज़्यादा होगी? क्योंकि सूर्यवंशी का जो अनुमान लगाया गया था उससे कहीं ज़्यादा उसने बिजनेस किया। तो ये जो RRR है उसका आप क्या सोचते हैं?
ये इतनी बड़ी फिल्म है, ये बोल सकते हैं कि जो हमारा पुराना ज़माना था ये फिल्म से वापस आएगा कि और ये फिल्म के लिए डिजिटल वालों ने भी एग्री किया है कि 75 to 90 डेज तक ये टेलीकास्ट नहीं करेंगे। इसका मतलब ये इतनी बड़ी फिल्म चलने वाली है। बाकी अभी सब फिल्में 30 डेज के लिए वो निगोशिएट करते हैं, ये पहली फिल्म है जो 75 to 90 डेज के बाद ही आएगी, तो लोग थिएटर में ही देखेंगे ये।
Thank you so much. Justin, one last thing. Yeah.
Alia, Justin here from PTI towards you, right? Hi. Alia, when RRR and Gangubai were supposed to sort of come together almost, as an actor, were you worried? What was the mental space like when two massive films were scheduled to release together?
Well, I think I am somebody who's very trusting of my directors and producers, and that's the reason they are who they are. SS Rajamouli is who he is because of his mind. Sanjay Leela Bhansali is who he is because of his mind and his, understanding of cinema. So it's nothing for me to worry. Even in that moment, I was like, kya hoga? It'll be Alia versus Alia, Ajay versus Ajay. Because Ajay sir's in that film as well. But eventually, it's not happening that way. Gangubai is releasing on the 18th of February and we're all happy. Jayantilal Bhai is also part of the both films.
इसमें आलिया जी का बहुत अच्छा रोल है, ये बोल सकते हैं इन्होंने डेट शिफ्ट करवाई।
नहीं मैंने कुछ नहीं किया वट एवर इज डन इज इट हैंडल्ड बाय द प्रोड्यूसर्स एंड द डायरेक्टर्स एंड आई एम जस्ट फॉलो। मैं तो बस एक्टर हूँ, आप मेरे को यहाँ बिठाओ वहाँ बिठाओ, आई विल डू व्हाट यू टेल मी टू डू।
राइट, थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं for this amazing crew. Welcome, sir. So good to see you and congratulations. Sir, I told you, sir. Sir, ये सारे records तोड़ेगी, I told you ना, sir. So what do you have to say, sir? Like, some थोड़ा compliments मुझे भी चाहिए, sir.
Congratulations on guessing it first.
So we'll start with Ram Charan bhai. Sir, please tell me, ये एक ना कुछ वो poking चलता है ना? हाँ, what is it? What is it? And why do we do it? Like, you've been bothering sir and how? वो क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा?
हेलो
दोनों नहीं आप तो सबसे आगे हो सर.
हेलो एवरीवन, गुड इवनिंग, थैंक यू फॉर कमिंग. आपका जवाब क्या बोलूं, मेरे को तो टिकलिंग क्या बोलते हिंदी में, गुदगुदी नहीं आता है सर.
अच्छा.
और फील भी नहीं होता. हाँ. सिर्फ इनको आता है.
ओके. तारक भाई एक बार बताइएगा उनको आता है कि नहीं आता है?
नहीं आता है.
आता है, गुदगुदी आता है.
ऑफ स्क्रीन आता है.
We'll definitely talk about this गुदगुदी. लेकिन ladies and gentlemen, बॉक्स ऑफिस पे जो गुदगुदी मची है, ऐसी गुदगुदी आज तक नहीं मची है, and that too global level पे. तो गाड़ा साहब प्लीज मैं आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, how did this thing happen? Like प्लीज मुझे आज बता दीजिए सीक्रेट कि इसकी शुरुआत कैसे हुई. राजामौली सर से, हमारे सुपरस्टार्स से, या दनाया सर से? कहाँ से ये शुरू हुआ था सब?
सबसे पहले तो मैं सबको थैंक यू बोलूँगा कि राजामौली जी, जूनियर NTR, रामचरण जी, धनया जी और कार्तिकेय जी सब लोग हमारी इनविटेशन पे आए. हमारी डील की शुरुआत धनया जी से हुई थी. मैंने पहले भी बोला है, शायद आपने सुना होगा. और इन्होंने मदद की कि ये फिल्म कैसे भी करके मेरे पास आए और राजामौली जी तक हम पहुँचे. कार्तिकेय ने बड़ा रोल निभाया इसमें. यस, कार्तिकेय ने बहुत बड़ा रोल. लेकिन कार्तिकेय ने बड़ा रोल निभाया हम दोनों के बीच में अंडरस्टैंडिंग करवाने के लिए. और मुझे याद है वो 31 मार्च को हम लोग रात को 12 बजे तक बैठे थे, तभी एग्रीमेंट साइन किया था. तो धनया जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच. धनया जी DBV बैनर के ओनर हैं. इन्होंने बड़ी फिल्में बनाई हैं, आगे भी बना रहे हैं और मुझे लगता है कि आगे भी मुझे हैंडल करने देंगे.
सर आपने बोला 31 मार्च को ये साइन हुई थी, तो मतलब आने वाले न जाने कितने सारे फाइनेंशियल ईयर्स जो हैं सर, आपने उनमें उथल-पुथल मचा दी है पूरी. अब व्हाट आर वी लुकिंग एट सर? व्हाट इज दैट फिगर दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट? बिकॉज़ 1000 क्रॉस हो गया ना एकदम ऐसे. अभी कहाँ तक जाने वाली है सर? दिस इज जस्ट द बिगिनिंग.
डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए मैं मेरे पार्टनर संजय छत्तर और अमिताभ लोढ़ा जी संभालते हैं. और उन्होंने अच्छा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया. मुझे लगता है कि रामचरण जी, जूनियर NTR और राजामौली जी खुश हैं. उनके डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में कोई शक नहीं है. और ये वैसे भी इतनी बड़ी हो गई है और रोज़ चल रही है, तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि अभी इसके लिए कुछ बोलना है. अभी नंबर देखते रहेंगे, अभी तो 1000 ही हुए हैं.
हो अभी देखते जाइए, अभी तो शुरुआत है, आगे बड़ी बात है. सर, दिस वंस फॉर यू. एज आई सेड, यू नो, आवर फेवरेट स्टोरी टेलर. Are you kind of relieved? Like, of course, I did not see that pressure when we spoke the last time also. But are you kind of relieved now when the results are out, or अब इतना सारा प्यार मिल रहा है? What do you have to say on that, sir?
Yeah, absolutely relieved because the film was getting postponed so many times, and because of the pandemic, and we were very unsure about the occupancy of the theaters. I mean, from the audience side, I never had a doubt. From the audience side, I always believed that once the film is out, they are going to come to the theaters. But from the health department side, we didn't know. Suddenly, the governments were giving orders to shut it down completely, 50%, 25%, 75%. So we didn't know what was coming when. So that was a bit of anxious moments, for not just for me, for all the films. And once all the theaters opened, RRR brought the audience back to the theaters. That is the biggest achievement for me.
Right, and we can see that hidden in that smile Rajamouli sir के चेहरे पे जो इस समय. Tarak bhai, this one's for you. You know, we've talked about the action, we've talked about the emotion, we've talked about the songs. There's another thing, the very important thing, and that is, it's a nod to our freedom fighters. एक बहुत ही खास चीज़, कुछ ऐसे लोग जिनको आप फोर फ्रंट पे लेके आए, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे काम किए थे, लेकिन शायद उनके बारे में बहुत सारे लोगों को नहीं पता था. What do you have to say on that, sir?
See, I think it's there's so many stories hidden in our culture, in our country, that these stories need to be told to the coming generations. He was one of the very few lucky people who's read them, who's heard them. Me or Charan are lucky people, a few lucky people that we know them. And I think it is our duty, our responsibility to pass them to the next generation. And films like RRR and directors, filmmakers like Rajamouli, when they make films like this, not only are they making us go down the memory lane, but they're giving it to the next generation also. So I really feel, me or Charan, we feel really blessed to have been a part of this great movie called RRR, where we had the chance to pass it forward to the next generations. So I'm really thankful, very, very, very grateful to Rajamouli, and very grateful to the audiences of our country. They've proved once again that when they love something, when they like something, they don't take it into their heart, but they take it and put it on their head.
Absolutely. And it's not just in our country, sir. मतलब globally मैं बात करूं, और मैंने सुना है बाकी गैलेक्सीज से भी लोग आ रहे हैं और वो टिकट ऑफिसेस पे जाके RRR इस टाइप की चीजें हो रही है सर. We won't be surprised if we get to see a जादू at the box office, you know. मुझे भी चाहिए RRR. Ramcharan sir, this one's for you, please. Just one thing, you know, this movie, as I said, action है, drama है, emotion है. It takes all of us, like the cine lovers, एक अलग हाई पे, you know, it leaves you there. जब फिल्म खत्म होती है, for you, the movie has ended, the process has ended. What do you have to say on that?
I think it's been a long journey for us from 2018 onwards to 21. जितना हमने enjoy किया ये movie बनाने में, I think when I sneaked into Galaxy Theatre, and thanks to Rajamouli Garu in the south, he sneaked me into another theatre, I truly saw the reactions of people. Like you said, we danced, we had emoted beautifully, and he had a master storyteller. But the audience in North have danced with us, emoted with us, felt bad for us, and again we fought, we rose or revolted. Together I felt. It was not like the audience and me, it was just become a one unit when I saw in the theatre. I called Rajamouli sir immediately and I said, they were so particular, saying, when you rose the scene, they also rose along. When you calmed down, they also calmed down. When you wanted them to dance, they danced. I think I made RRR, or I was part of RRR, so I didn't make, sorry. I was part of RRR for one reason, just to see India's reaction, and I saw it, and these numbers definitely matter, but the reactions I saw in Galaxy and another theatre, it will be with me and stay with me forever. Thank you so much, India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to this entire wonderful team. Gada Saab, thank you so much. Danaya sir, thank you so much for backing this project, for making this film. Rajamouli sir, thank you so much. Tarak bhai, Ramcharan bhai, you know, it's such a pleasure. फिल्म देखना अलग बात है, लेकिन यहाँ आप लोग के साथ खड़े होना ही, you know, अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you. तो जिसके पास सवाल है, इतने सारे हाथ अभी से खड़े हो गए.
Hi, Rajamouli sir, over here, towards your left. Firstly, congratulations to the team on the humongous success. It deserves every penny that it's earning. My question to you is, sir, the action set pieces in RRR, especially the interval one, is probably the best that I have seen in Indian cinema. And if we look at all the action scenes of the film, there is a story running in it. So how is it for you to design these thrilling action sequences that are so original with a story running in the backdrop? And could you tell us about your vision for the interval sequence in specific?
I have told this many times. It is, of course, visual grandeur is what attracts the audiences and which makes them keep the visuals are what is attached to their mind. But to keep them in their heart, it needs an emotion running underneath it. For not just the interval sequence, for any action sequence, it is very, very important. And in this case, we have seen Tarak or Bhim undergo pain and humiliation for a long, long time. That's classic screenwriter's job. You show an actor how strong he is, and then you go him through the emotions of humiliation, pain, yearning to do what he has set out to do for, and you stretch it long enough, or you stretch it for like almost 1.5 hours, and then you show the unleash his power. That needs to be like super exciting. Yeah, so that is what is going behind my mind when I was writing. So when Bhim or Tarak unleashes his power, the visual has to be something that the audience should remain in their hearts for a very, very long time. So that's how we came up with that sequence.
And was it conscious decision to make him, jump with the animals, because he is called young tiger in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, and that is something that reflects in the scenes, be it his intro scene or the interval scene?
No, I mean, people call him lovingly young tiger, but his image, his image is not what I had in mind. The character of Bhim, like I told you, he's so powerful physically, but emotionally he's like a child. So that was what I was banking upon rather than the image.
Rajamouli sir, here, right here, again, same space. I want to ask you something. So I was back in Calcutta when the movie released. My 5-year-old nephew actually walked up to me. He doesn't know much to say, but he said, I want to watch this film, matlab in Bengali. And he's like, tum mil ke aaye ho unse? And he's constantly watching all your video interviews and stuff. From a 5-year-old, and I watch it with my parents who are 60 plus, how do you tap into the emotions, and how do you make sure that whatever you make caters to all ages? Like, we've loved it, our parents have loved it, and nephews and nieces have loved it. How do you do that with each film of yours?
Well, I don't write for all age groups. I write only for children, and I believe that every person has a child in them. Let it be your 65-year-old aunt or grandmother or your 5-year-old nephew. Everyone has a child in them, and I write for them.
And I have a question to both of you, because this is one film which you can watch over and over again. And I watch it with different sets of people. And I still want to watch it one more time. Bahubali was divided into 2 parts. So we knew that when the first part was ending, there's an eagerness or a want to watch the second part. This we knew that there was no second part, but we still want another part. Did you guys feel it, that there should be another movie, or maybe something where you guys come up with something else maybe?
I'm pretty sure that if it doesn't make RRR, you're going to kill him for sure. He needs to make RRR 2. There needs to be a conclusion to this also. So that's why, I was just talking to one of the journalists, and I don't know how I said it, but I said RRR franchise. So hopefully it becomes true, and he should make RRR 2, right?
I mean, I'm firstly so happy and glad RRR 1 released post-COVID. Of course, we'll all be so delighted again if Rajamouli sir thinks of RRR 2. I hope your wish comes true, brother.
Rajamouli sir,
सर प्लान किसको पूछ रहे हैं आप? इनको पूछिए ना प्लान. तो हमारा प्लान नहीं.
Actually, you should ask him.
हम तो वैसे भी रेडी हैं. कल शूटिंग के लिए बुलाए तो हम जाएंगे. तो प्लान तो इनका है ना.
They got out of RRR 1 pretty quickly. I am still trying to cool off from the heat generated from RRR 1. So let it cool down. And of course, for me, it would be a great pleasure, not because what RRR will do at the box office, but just because I'll have more time to spend with my brothers. No, that would be more exciting for me. But yeah, let's let time unravel what will happen.
Rajamouli sir, to your right. Hi. Rajamouli sir, all the accolades, all the appreciation, everything that a movie is getting, it deserves that and so much more. So congratulations to the entire team for that.
But my question is also, Bahubali 2 makes 1,800 crores globally. Now RRR makes 1,000 crores globally. So when you achieve these summits, and when you are making a movie, it almost feels like you are scaling a new summit every time. So when you're going to make the next movie, even though as an artist you're concentrating creatively, is this also a mountain of expectations in the third movie that it cannot come below these benchmarks that you have set for yourself?
Let me try to put it this way. I always said that what we can do is give our 100% to the project and make it in the best possible way that it can be made. The numbers are not in our hands. That is the love and appreciation from the audience. That can be affected by many factors, by the holidays, by the release, by the distribution, how strong the distributor is, how strong the exhibitor is. So many other factors contribute to the numbers. The only thing that we can gauge is the love and appreciation of the audiences. So I won't take too much into the numbers. Of course, the numbers are very important because that directly relates to how many people has seen the film. So that is important. I'm not saying that's not important, but more is the appreciation from the different sets of audiences. If we talk about Bahubali 2 and RRR, no, of course, there is a lot of appreciation from all audiences, but what is significantly different that I noticed this time is the number of Western audiences that are liking the film RRR. I mean, even for the journalists to write about Bahubali 2, it took some time to look at the numbers and do that. But for RRR, the moment it released, within 4 or 5 days, articles in Deadline, Variety, New York Times coming up, and the number of tweets that are coming from the Western audiences, particularly in US, that I never expected. For Bahubali 2, I didn't expect it from Japan. For RRR, I didn't expect from the Westerners in US. No, this is the kind of thing that I take into heart. So this is the kind of thing that say, okay, this many number of people are liking our film. So next time when I make a film, I have to keep that in mind. I shouldn't let it bother me. I shouldn't let it weigh me down. But I should think of it, that there are wider audiences that are listening to your story. So I should keep that in mind. Not the numbers, but the love of appreciation from different audiences. Yes.
Well said, sir.
Thank you.
Tarak and Charan, last time when I had interviewed you all had told that you all completely give yourselves to the vision of Rajamouli sir, and that's only how an actor can do, and that's why the years didn't matter dedicated to the project. But now that RRR has come and the catharsis is there of achieving so much, would you all ever be able as actors to again give 3-4 years to one project again?
Absolutely. Of course. To Rajamouli, yes. But yeah, see, it is, if a film takes that kind of a time to be made, obviously, that's our duty as actors to be as dedicated as our filmmakers.
Of course, he's trained us, not only for him, for any director who has a great script. Of course, we will.
Hi, this is Sana here from Indian Express. Firstly, for Ram and Tarak, me dadari performance maku chala nachandi. I got my colleague to translate that for me. Amazing performance,
Thank you.
both of you, and I think you guys justify the superstar tag that comes with you. Tell me, what does superstardom and the tag means to you, and do you think post RRR will that change for both of you?
I think superstardom for me is waking up at 5, reaching the location at 7, giving your shot at 7:30, going home, spend 1 hour with your family, hit the gym, sleep, and do the same thing again. I don't think you won't achieve the superstardom unless you're in this beautiful loop. And it might sound boring, but this boring activity might lead you to success. I don't know any other way. Of course, they have master storytellers to take care of rest of the things.
as a person, I feel discipline will take you to a superstardom and sustain you there.
Cut, copy, paste. I would like to copy paste on that. But again, you know, see, superstardom is... See, these are all taglines. Like how he has a tagline called Mega Power Star. I have a... Fans give you this tagline of Young Tiger. So superstardom, again, is another tagline. You know, for me, you are actors. And for an actor, is exactly what he needs to do. Day in and day out, repeatedly. So that's what it is. It's discipline, which will always, which will remain the same.
Also, the magic of RRR is that we keep on conversing. Even now, after around a week that I've watched the film, we keep discussing. Both of you tell me, if you had to pick your favorite scenes from the film, what would that be?
I think my favorite scene is the interval episode where the whole misunderstanding happens between Bheem and Ram and how it ends as an interval. That is my favorite scene, I think.
Yeah, I love that scene too. It's when both the characters are completely out of their disguise, and they're there as Bheem and Ram. So I think that really brings out the actual collision of the movie.
All right, we'll take one last question, right?
Rajamouli Garu, welcome. Rajamouli Garu, NTR and Ram Charan, Lipika Verma here. Welcome to Mumbai with a stupendous success. Rajamouli Garu, I want to ask you, you are an exuberant storyteller, but would you mind if we tag you with a exuberant fantasy storyteller also? Because it's a very difficult job, What would you like to elaborate?
As long as you like my film, ma'am, you can put any tag on me. I don't mind it.
And comparison is inevitable. The film has been compared to Bahubali, and both the films are, of course, A-grade films. Which film is closer to your heart?
It will be very difficult to judge, ma'am, because at this point of time, I am so attached to RRR. So my question, whatever you ask, not just between Bahubali 2 and RRR, if you ask me what is my best film of all my filmography, or if you ask me what is my favorite film in all the films I have seen from my childhood, I'll say RRR. Because I'm so emotionally attached to now. Maybe 6 months from now, 8 months from now, once the euphoria completely dies down, then I'll be able to give a better right answer. But for now, it is all RRR for me.
NTR, we hear that your next action film is Kortala Siva. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I think...
So it's too early.
Yeah, it's too early. So right now it's about RRR. So I would like to stick to talk about RRR. And yes, as you mentioned, that's going to be my next film. But in the coming days, I'm going to give you all the details about
Ram Charan walks away with all the accolades. What do you have to say?
No, ma'am, I don't believe that at all. Not even for a second. I think we both have excelled beautifully, and Tarak was fantastic. I don't think I've enjoyed working in a film, in any other film but RRR. And what I'll take back from RRR is my journey with Bheem, my journey with Tarak, which I'll never ever forget. Thank you, Rajamouli Garu, for giving me that opportunity. I love him to bits, and it'll always remain the same.
People, we are running out of time, I know, and before we wrap up, I'd like to thank the wonderful people from the media fraternity here in Mumbai. उसके अलावा the southern states, वहाँ से जितने सारे मीडिया के कर्मियों ने हमको cover किया, इस फिल्म को इतना सारा प्यार दिया. We also have some wonderful people from Delhi, Kolkata, Indore, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Bengaluru, जो सब यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं. I hope you guys had a great time with this amazing cast and crew of the movie RRR, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you, 1,000 crores is just a beginning. It's time for a quick photo op, and then इस शाम को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. And we'll be back with more. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more, so do not worry. We'll be back with some more of your favorite superstars.
Rajamouli ji, the superstars of the film who are not here. You see, films come and films go at any point of time. Some films, some stars, some celebrities are big, and then time passes, and with time, people forget them. But there are very few films, and there are few directors and few stars who are remembered ever, because they had not become successful because of any amount of money on the box office. That is secondary. That you will forget. What you remember, that they became successful by doing something which was unprecedented, which had never happened before. Rajamouli Saab, it's a great achievement to collect 1,000 crores for a film. But believe me, after 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, they won't remember this, but they will remember you. They'll remember your work. They'll remember your film. That is a fact. I must tell you that in 1953, I was reading a film called Nagin was released. And it was a super duper hit film all over India. Do you know how much it made? All over India, what was the collection which made it such a big hit? 30 lakhs. Time comes when 90 lakhs, when Bobby had earned 90 lakhs, people were awed. Or Sholay had earned 3 crores, they were shocked. Money changes. Great work doesn't change. Rajamouli Saab, what you have done, as a matter of fact, Jayanti Bhai should have called me after 1 week, because last night I have seen the film, I'm still knocked. I'm still under shock and awe. Whatever you have done is unprecedented. It is a story that perhaps anybody could tell. But the way you have told this story, nobody in this country could have told you. Nobody. And I must congratulate both your actors. Unfortunately, they are not here. But besides giving a memorable film, besides giving a film that is a game changer, you have given to 20th century another pair of Jay and Veeru. Thank you.
Thank you, Javed sir. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Javed sir. अभी मैं थैंक यू जावेद साहब। अभी मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा करण जी, प्लीज राजामौली जी के लिए 2 वर्ड बोलें।
Ladies and gentlemen, the Maverick, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I remember walking in just now, and I actually turned back when I read 1,000 crores, and the producer in me skipped a heartbeat, because these are numbers that we dream of. These are numbers that we think happen only in other people's movies, because we've never seen it happen. But we have a genius that I'm standing right next to. He's not only a movie maverick, but I think he has the imagination of a genius child. Because that imagination that children think of, he actually goes out there and executes it like a true visionary. When I first saw Bahubali, I thought I had never seen something like that on the silver screen of Indian cinema. Then I saw Bahubali 2, and I thought, oh my God, how do you up that and do it with such aplomb? And then you see RRR and you're like, listen, he's too good to be true. Like, he is not real. Like, you have to touch him and feel him. That does he really exist? Is this kind of talent real? But it is, ladies and gentlemen, he is officially the biggest filmmaker our country has ever seen and probably will ever see. And I think that kudos to him, his vision, his execution, and his exemplary team for constantly pulling off, churning out not just audience love, but also upping the bar of Indian cinema. Today, the standard is set by him. And we just aspire to be students of that school of cinema and try and execute what he has given to cinema on a platter that is being celebrated as we speak. I want to extend my heartiest congratulations to Jayanti Bhai for actually, well, what do I say, officially opening the cinemas up with his successes, back-to-back successes with Gangubai and now with RRR just breaking every box office boundary. Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing what you do and continue to do what you do.
Yes, आपका साथ होगा, ऐसी फिल्में मिलते रहेगी
I'm
हमें.
feeling like I'm having a moment because we have Javed Saab, who I believe is truly one of our, the living legend of Indian cinema. His ability to write, to kind of inspire us with his imagination. So I think between Javed Saab's imagination and Rajamouli sir's imagination, we have a moment right now of Indian cinema as we speak. And thank you, gentlemen, illustrious gentlemen, for doing what you do with the way you do it. Thank you, sir. It's such an honor to be here today. And it's an honor that in my filmography, I can say that I have Rajamouli sir's film, which sometimes I've taken complete credit for when people don't know better. I want to tell you, behind your back, that has happened a few times, where people have come and said, "Aapki picture bahut achhi lagi, Bahubali," and I say thank you, without actually correcting them, because sometimes, you want to kind of do chance pe dance, as they say. But sir, thank you for being you and just inspiring us every moment of the day. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll have a quick photo op,
Thank you, Javed
sir,
sir.
with the entire, yeah, I'll take this.
Amazing film, sir. Amazing film.
राखी जी सोलो, राखी जी वेट ना सोलो
Very chance.
सर आई जा
Sir, Amir sir, how are you? Good, sir.
सर आ जाइए ना पीछे आ रहे हो सर यहाँ पे सामने
हाँ जी, sure.
सर सामने ए विनोद क्या कर बोथ ऑफ यू फ्रंट यहाँ पे अमित सर ये अमित सर एक सोलो अमित सर
Yeah.
अमित सर
please. मेरे फेवरेट आमिर सर.
सभी है
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Fine, sir. Yes, sir.
अरे आराम से यार आमिर सर रुकिए आमिर सर अरे वो दादा आमिर सर आमिर सर वेट दादा एक्सक्यूज मी दादा पार्टी है ना तुम पार्टी आमिर सर इस तरफ आमिर सर राइट में यहाँ पे आमिर सर राइट साइड सर राइट आमिर सर एक करते रहे आपको बहुत दिनों के बाद चलो लेने का पीछे हो जाओ भाई और आज इससे पहले भाई क्या कर रहे हो अरे वो भाई लो भाई ए भाई
इंडिया के दो सुपरस्टार एक राजामौली जी और एक आमिर खान जी एक साथ में आ रहे हैं स्टेज पे मुझे बहुत खुशी है आमिर खान जी प्लीज आइए आमिर खान जी को रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ राजामौली जी के लिए 2 शब्द बोले
मुझे आज इतनी खुशी हो रही है क्योंकि एक फिल्म मेकर की जो कैफियत होती है जो उसके जज्बात होते हैं आई थिंक उन लोग को डिस्टर्ब हो रहा है ना हाँ थोड़ा आप लोग बैठ जाओ ना
प्लीज बैठ जाइए
हाँ
प्लीज
हम
बैठ
लोग आगे आ
जाइए
जाते हैं
फोटो निकालेंगे
हो गया सेटल हो गया बैठना भाई थैंक यू तो मैं कह रहा था कि मुझे आज इतनी खुशी हो रही है क्योंकि एक फिल्म मेकर की जो कैफियत होती है राजा जी और जयंती भाई उनकी पूरी टीम की जो कैफियत द फीलिंग्स यू हैव बिफोर अ रिलीज ऑफ स्ट्रेस एंड टेंशन हम सब वो समझते हैं और मैं राजा जी और उनकी टीम को मिला था रिलीज से पहले और हम लोग कई दफ़ा मिले थे तो आज मुझे इतनी खुशी हो रही है कि मैं उनके साथ उस जर्नी में जो लास्ट का जो जर्नी होता है रिलीज के टाइम का उस जर्नी में मैं थोड़ा सा साथ में रहा हूँ एज अ फ्रेंड तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी दैट द फिल्म हैज बीन सो वेल रिसीव्ड एंड मुझे इतनी तलब हो रही है कि मैं फिल्म देखूं लेकिन मेरा जो लाल सिंह का काम है मैं राजा को समझा रहा था कि उसके चलते मैं इमीडिएटली देख नहीं पा रहा हूं क्योंकि मुझे थिएटर में जाके देखनी है और सिर्फ तारीफ सुनी है मैंने जितने लोगों से मैंने सुना है फिल्म के बारे में उन्होंने मतलब ये कहा है कि मतलब इतनी अच्छी फिल्म है कि दे कांट स्टॉप गशिंग अबाउट इट एवरीवन हु आई हैव हर्ड फ्रॉम सो ईच टाइम समवन प्रेजेस मी आई गेट हैप्पी एंड देन आई कॉल्ड राजा जी आई सेड कि सिर्फ तारीफ सुन रहा हूं तो and then in his voice I could hear the happiness so I'm so happy for that and it's really wonderful ke Rajamouli ji is a person who really gives his heart to his work and he's someone who's a master but at the same time he's a student and that is a very rare quality extremely rare quality so I'm so happy that you're having this well deserved success Raja and I wish you all the very best and may you always entertain us in this manner and may you always bring us joy in our lives. Thank you so much. Thank you.
मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा राजामौली जी को आमिर जी के लिए 2 शब्द बोलें
Me and Amir sir had an agreement that we are not supposed to call each other sir or G. It was so difficult for me not to call him sir, but he forced me to call him AK. Now he broke the agreement.
Sorry,
and he's
sorry,
calling me
sorry.
Rajaji.
No,
so
Raja. And he is Raja Hindustani now. We're all India. He's the real Raja Hindustani.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I mean, see, getting prizes from so many quarters is, of course, makes any filmmaker very, very happy. But coming from the master himself, you know, the last time also I was talking in Delhi when we were talking about pan-Indian films. I said, for me, Lagan is my first pan-Indian film. When a film works across north, east, south, west, you know, that becomes a pan-Indian film, not releasing in many languages. That's when we learned, where I learned breaking the boundaries. That is where he taught, not just me, he taught so many filmmakers that if you have conviction, you go with your story and people will across the country will like your film. So that is the basis of my traveling into other languages. Let it be Makki, let it be Bahubali, let it be RRR now. The seed was sown then. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inspiring so many filmmakers for such a long time and giving you...
No. What is he saying? Can you hear this man? What is he talking? No, we, with great difficulties, you know how it is. When we were making Lagan, today you are saying all that, I'm very, very happy to hear that. But जब हम लगान बना रहे थे, हम लोग की तो हवाइयाँ उड़ गई थी, हम लोग मतलब परेशान थे कि हम लोग से ठीक बनी है कि नहीं बनी है. You know, we were worried how it is made.
Of course,
so we are not masters. We were students then and we are students now.
Exactly.
So sometimes we want to have a joyous journey.
Yes.
Of making a film with a team that we enjoy, and then all of us should enjoy the success.
Exactly, that's what I'm coming, sir. Apart with along with Lagan, I also watched the making video of Lagan. That's when I learned that if you find a team that is willing to give everything to the film, then you will be making films that will connect to most number of people. That is what I learned from Lagan. And not just that, when I just asked him about to support RRR, he was so eager to do that. Not just as a gesture, he was eager to come and help promote RRR. Thank you so much.
No, don't say that, because
so
we are your fans. If you're asking us to help you, it is our pleasure. I'm glad you asked me. If I could be of any help, it is my pleasure and my honor. So really, I was very happy, and I'm so happy that the film is doing so well. And I really can't wait to see it.
Yes, sir. That's the main thing. I want Amirji to watch the film, and we are going to have a very long private conversation about the film. I'm just eagerly looking forward for that.
Definitely. Jayanti-bhai and I also go back a long way, and I'm so happy for Jayanti-bhai also. It's so nice to see that, he's doing so well, so successful, and he has a lot of courage, No, it's really nice to see that this film is doing so well, and I'm so happy for the entire team, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, Amir ji. Thank you, Rajamouli ji. आपको आने के लिए बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dhanaya ji.
Yes, of course.
साइड हो जाओ भैया भैया हेलो बस भाई जाने के बाद भी छोड़ना मत स्लो से बोलेगा तो छोड़ना कितना दोस्त भाई इसको हटा देना पीछे कर दो यार हेलो सर पीछे आ जाइए पीछे भाई अरे यार इनको पहले खड़े हो जाओ सामने से ये तो फोन कहाँ है तो आ जाएगा थोड़ा सा पीछे ले लो थोड़ा सा दादा दिख रहा है सर एक सामने सेंटर अभी भी सेंटर सर इधर भी
NTR जूनियर सर
मास्क लगा लो पकड़ा जाऊंगा
रामचरण सर आलिया भट्ट and Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Bijli. Come on everyone, can we make some noise? Perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, finally the wait is over. और सबसे पहले तो मैं आप इन सभी के सामने आप लोगों की पेशेंस के लिए, आप लोगों के सब्र के लिए धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा. थैंक यू सो मच. मैं चाहूंगा एक बारी सभी जितने मीडिया के लोग हैं हमारे प्यारे, एक बारी अपने लिए और हमारे पूरे साकास की जोरदार तालियां. थैंक यू एंड वेलकम टू द पीवीआर सिनेमास. लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आज जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं कि पीवीआर सिनेमास जो है वो हो चुका है. जैसे एक एनएफसी यहाँ पर आप लोग आगे लॉन्च करने वाले. वी वेलकम देम ऑन द स्टेज. आप लोगों के साथ कैमरास भी हाथ में, बट परफेक्ट. So we have
आगे साथ आ जाइए जगह पीछे वो आ रहा है बोल के लिए.
All right, perfect. We have Shaluji here, Pratima, Priya from PVR, and they are going to represent मैं दोनों टीम्स को कंग्रेचुलेट करना चाहूंगा, both the teams, RRR team and PVR team, जोरदार तालियों के साथ, ladies and gentlemen, first ever NFC. Wow, what a moment! And with this, one more time, okay. So we have this media opportunity for everybody here, full opportunity. Our team, and we request everyone to please take their seats now. Ladies and gentlemen, इसी के साथ आप लोगों का ज़्यादा समय ना लेते हुए मैं ये माइक देना चाहूँगा pioneer of Indian cinema.
Double more than that. Thank you so much.
All right, can we have a round of applause, everybody? So congratulating the entire team again, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, India's most legendary director here with us. Sir, thank you so much, and I think.
Good evening, everyone. I think before we start, we are so happy, so happy to associate with PVR. We make great films, but we, as a film director, as a filmmaker, we want the audience to experience the film the way we made it, in a particular way. So, PVR.
It's a time waste. So this is good, of course, very much different to you. So I really want to know, what is your experience working with such great stars, and especially Rajamouli sir?
I was shocked when you paused. This is your first film. Okay.
Yes, I think you can say this is my first South language film. Well, the experience, honestly, for me, I was pinching myself when I learned.
Okay, thank you so much. All the best for the film.
All right. Yes, you're audible. Start with the name.
So you have already shared your experience, your memory. So what is the most challenging moment while shooting RRR?
Luckily, they have been very good boys, so they behaved very well. And she asked me a question and I'm answering. I don't know. Okay. You didn't do anything. I gave you a certificate telling you are good boys. Okay. Okay. And my most challenging moment, I was continuously telling. Well, no.
About how I have to control these two. No, the most challenging moment. For me, it was learning Telugu.
All right, we take some.
Yeah, I'm going to make Tarak answer on my behalf as well. Each and every day of RRR shoot, we were together, so pretty much our experiences have been the same. And Tarak, I mean.
Well, I should say that there were many moments in RRR which were challenging, physically, and we shot for this crazy action sequences there was this action sequence we shot for 65 nights, and but I think even Charan will agree, he's him. Satisfied him, because he's one of those directors who will not. I think he's the only director, at least I would believe that there are a few directors who would say, 99.9 is also fine, I take it, but he's like, no, I want my 100, you give me my 100, and then you move out of the camera. So that was the most challenging thing for us. Right? Yes, Charan?
Absolutely. Yeah. Next question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm from the Times of India team. First, my question is to Mr. Sanjeev sir. Firstly, congratulations on the PVR and RRR association. My question is in two parts. Firstly,
2 posters and 3 or 4 memorabilia from the production house, and duplicated them. We'll have about 300 NFTs. We're not selling them. These are all part of a contest. We're going to be doing a massive contest. The contest date ends, I think, end of March, and the winners will be announced.
For everyone in this room, congratulations, Alia, on a phenomenal performance in Gangubai. I think we can't stop praising you enough. But having said that, we all know that both Bhansali sir's world of cinema and Rajamouli sir's world of cinema has a magnanimity to it. and especially an artist. We have heard it in the past from Ranveer, Deepika, Priyanka, that how involved you are in your characters when it comes to such huge films and what kind of impact it leaves per se. So I need to understand here as an actor, what's your process of moving in and out of characters and how difficult has it been for you perhaps to dwell into such characters?
I don't have a process, and I like my process to change with every film and with every filmmaker that I'm working with, because I, at the end of the day, believe that we are just the clay. That, you know, the filmmaker creates the structure and the film, and we just have to mold into the filmmaker's hands. So I prefer to just go. Whatever the filmmaker wants, whatever the process, whether the filmmaker wants me to sit at home for 3 months and learn my lines, okay. Come on set without learning my lines, okay. Go on some camp and do some research, okay. Whatever the filmmaker wants. So that's my process. And yes, every character has something that I take away from. From Sita's character, I took away a silent strength. A strength that doesn't need to be spoken about or talked about. It's a silent strength which is delicate, which is simple, but it's strength.
That's beautiful. Also, having said that, before I pass on this mic, anything that you've learned in Telugu, if you could just say it for us, we really need to hear that. Any one thing.
Meeku na muddulu.
Thank you. Thank you, Benny. We have the next question.
Hi, I'm Durga from INS. This question is like for all four of you. Rajamouli sir, you really opened the floodgates for pan-India films. And you know, a lot of movies followed suit. We have a lot of pan-India films being made now. All four of you, how do you see pan-India films changing the game for Indian cinema?
Frankly, I'm not a visionary. I don't have such understanding about how everything works out. For me, it is all about my film and what I can do to make my film reach maximum number of audiences. So over the course of my career, I learned that the more stronger the emotions, more basic the emotions, more people tend to like your movie. So that's what I learned, and that's what I've been doing. And Bahubali just was liked by the entire country. And I think people realize that if they follow the same thing, if they base their story on basic emotions, basic human emotions, they will have a wider reach.
He doesn't start something thinking it should be loved by each and everyone, but it magically somehow in the end becomes that. And the first movie was Bahubali. And all of us are very glad to be part of this, because the floodgates, as you said, has been open to all actors to experience the other Indian directors and other Indian directors from different states to experience us. So there's a huge boundaries that have been erased, and we are very fortunate to be in this era of experiencing other directors and they experiencing us.
So I remember on the first day I was shooting with Tara, and I was on the floor, okay, as per the scene. And Tara had to bend down and pick me up or something like that. He couldn't bend down because his legs were so sore. Because he had done a heavy leg workout, you remember this? And so that's why, my reason to narrate this story is, I could tell without them saying how hard these guys have worked on their body. Like, he couldn't even bend down, and his legs were so sore. And then we all had a good laugh about it, and then he bent down because he had to go.
So, is there like any particular physical routine that you followed, or like an exercise or something?
See, I think, being fit is a very #1 priority for an actor to be, right? So yes, for RRR, we really, there were proper, Rajamouli as a director wanted us to look in a particular way. how he imagined us to be, his characters wanted to be. So it was challenging, but again, as I said, being fit is the number one priority for an actor today, in today's world. So we didn't go through this special care in COVID times, and when COVID was happening, everyone needed to be fit also. So that was, it was going on. It was like a routine till RRR was happening, because we had to look in a particular way. So yeah.
Yes, please. Next question.
Sir, Mr. Sir. Hi, RRR team. Very warm welcome to Delhi. So just before you came, first of all, my name is Ayushi. I'm from Untitled. Sorry about that. So हम जब ट्रेलर देख रहे थे, so we saw a very small glimpse of Arya in the trailer. So maybe because my cinematic knowledge is not so much clear, so I just want Arya to make it clear what kind of role you are playing in the film.
Okay. Like we have been telling from the beginning, Ajay comes as an important character. It's not a full character, it's a cameo. But the character is so important. It's so important because in the film we have two heroes who are like superpowers, who are like fire and water, out to destroy each other if things don't go well. And in between we wanted a soft, fragile looking girl, but who has enough inner strength to control these forces or lead these forces in the proper way. So that's why I wanted Alia to do it. So if you're talking about the length of the character, it is less. But if you're talking about the importance of the character, it is very high.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So this is sir. Sir, like he's playing a tribal leader role, sir. Like, have you ever went to those tribals and spoke to them, about their culture?
No, we didn't need to actually go into a tribal village and meet the tribals to actually get into this role. As Rajamouli always said, that it's just the character he's taken, but everything around the character is fictitious. So for us, it was his inputs as a director, what he wanted us to be and how he wanted us to fit into his character of Kamarabhi. So we really didn't need to actually get into all those workshops. We just had a day or two days of workshop. That's it. He just explained the characters and this is what we want. I want that, and you guys.
Hi. हेलो नमस्कार नॉन फिक्शन सब्जेक्ट पर एक ऐसी फिल्म बनाएंगे जो देशभक्ति से रिलेटेड हो.
There are so many things, whether I want to make a small budget film, whether I want to make a realistic film, whether I want to make a patriotic film. There are so many questions in there. What I want to make is what I always want to make is an emotional film. I want my audiences to connect to my film very emotionally. I want my audiences to feel for the characters, to empathize with the characters, feel all the emotions the characters in the film they are feeling. So each director has a way of narrating the stories. I have a certain way of narrating my stories, but I don't set on trying to think, okay, now let's make a small budget movie. Okay, let's make a realistic movie. That's not how I think. I just go in search of an emotional story. If it's a big story, it will be a big story. If it's a small story, it will be a small story.
Last question.
Last question.
Hi, it was a conscious decision to put mythological element in your films?
It's a very subconscious decision because I grew up from my childhood listening to the stories of mythology, either from my grandparents and parents or through Amar Chitragatha. It is completely imbibed in my blood, the stories. So whatever goes in comes out. So because I have so much of input of the mythologies, they tend to come out in my stories in different forms. And I feel very proud of it.
Okay. फोटोशूट करते हैं.
Yes. सवाल मेरा बस मैं आपका और आपकी टीम का अभिनंदन करता हूँ इस बात को लेकर के कि चाहे बाहुबली नहीं हो फिल्म आपकी और चाहे ये RRR 3 बनी है आपने भारत के गौरव को दिखाया है, चाहे वो सनातन धर्म का रहा हो, चाहे वो हमारे वैल्यूज का रहा हो। मैंने भी आपकी फिल्म का ट्रेलर देखा, गाने देखे, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और मैं इसीलिए आपकी टीम का अभिनंदन करता हूँ कि आप हमारे उन इतिहास को दिखा रहे हैं जो हमारे बच्चों को, हमारी नई पीढ़ी को सीखना है। तो मैं ये आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा कि ये जो 2 चरित्र आपने उठाए हैं, अल्लू जी, सीताराम राजू, कोमाराम भी, तो उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा आप हमारे दर्शकों को बताएं।
Okay, my Hindi is not so good, but I tried to answer the question in the way I understood. Generally, from my childhood, whenever we learned the stories of ancient India, how they were portrayed, how world perceived India, was like it's a dusty place, it's a country of poorness, it is a country of sick people. No, it used to make me feel very, very bad about it. The British newsreels, if you take the archives, no, it always showed India as a third world country and those kind of things. Of course, a part of it was true, but at the same time, I was taught from my childhood, India has a rich history, India has a rich culture. And just plain richness. India had so much of richness. And if you read other historians, if you take, I forgot the name of the Dutch explorer who came to South India, and he wrote the annals of Vijayanagara Samarajya in South, ruled by Krishna Deva Raya. In that he writes, he went into the house and historicals written by the British. That is not what I wanted. That is not how I imagined my freedom fighters to be. That's the reason I took a completely fictional account of their lives. Allu Sitaram Raju and Akomram being. There is a time in history where we don't know what happened to them. During 1920s, they went away from their homes, from their respective places. After 3-4 years, they came back to their respective places and started fighting. They were. So, there is an element of patriotism that runs in the story. There is an element of freedom struggle that runs in the story. But the main line of the story is friendship between these two legendary fighters.
Thank you. I request everyone to please come forward for the perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I request the entire staff cast to please come forward for the group photo opportunity. The entire media, this is group photo opportunity for everybody.
So center में
So thank you so much. Everyone, requesting everybody to please settle down. Thank you, Rajamouli sir. Thank you very much for joining us here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce on stage India's most celebrated director. Yes, I'm talking about Padma Shri SS Rajamouli sir. Can't tell you about that, for how long they've been waiting here, and they're extremely happy to see you both together. And trust me, I think we have been doing this on stage. Yashika has been doing this on, that's Yashika, that's Sahil, will be the host for this evening, this amazing promotion. And I think Shashika has been doing the same thing with everybody, and today, again, one more time you're going to do that. All right. How many NTR fans we have in the house? NTR! How many Charan fans we have in the house? So I think it's very difficult for both of us to tell you.
Let them speak a few words with them. They are waiting so long to hear their voices. Absolutely.
No, I think there's no NTR fans or Charan fans. They're NTR and Charan fans together. Well, gives me immense pleasure to be in Delhi here. I've been to Delhi as a tourist. Well, finally, I'm here to Delhi promoting RRR. Gives me immense happiness to see all of you here. I love you all, and I just want you to, you've seen Bahubali, you know what that man is capable of. And I just want you to repeat that again, and please bless us. Thank you, everybody. Amma, love you all. Love you all. I'm doing so. Hello. Hello, Delhi. ఢిల్లీలో ఉన్న మా తెలుగు అభిమానులందరికీ నమస్తే. తారక్ చెప్పినట్టు ఇది నా ఫ్యాన్స్, తారక్ ఫ్యాన్స్ కాదు, ఇది RRR ఫ్యాన్స్, రాజమౌళి గారి అభిమానులు కూడా. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. ఇంకా మిమ్మల్ని అందరూ ఆరాధించడానికి టు ఎంటర్టైన్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ. వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద మెయిన్ గెస్ట్ కమింగ్. ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకోను, బట్ ఐ లవ్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ కమింగ్ అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ వెయిటింగ్ ఫర్ సో లాంగ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. All right, thank you sir, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we waiting for? Yes, I think Yashika, this is the moment. Finally, I think it's time to have the entire star cast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have the countdown for the one and only Alia Bhatt. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, let's welcome
the Queen of Hearts, guys. Let's go.
What a special entry. Alia, it's a pleasure to have you here. And let me tell you, all the fans, they've been waiting for so long just to see a glimpse. And finally, we have the entire star cast of RRR here. Very excited to see you. Alia, why don't you...
I hope you're okay. That's the Alia effect. That's the Alia effect. जहाँ जाती है धमाके हो जाते हैं.
एक बारी गंगू भाई के लिए एक बारी फिर से बॉस. Alia, big congratulations to you on what a success that we have seen. I think you have already put cinemas, that live thing, and
Yeah, I think honestly I just want the film to now release in the theaters and let the audience see it and enjoy it and love it.
Yes, that's the stadium moment, I guess. On.
I know you're enjoying everything about RRR, and we thought we should bring something special for you in Delhi. So I thank this person, this amazing person who agreed to come and be a part of the promotion out of his love for us, and that is none other than, can you guess? Welcome, one and only Ajay.
Wow, now that's what you call a surprise.
That's a superstar entry here.
So that's what we have been talking. Good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here.
जितना आप लोग एक्साइटेड है ना RRR देखने के लिए, उतना मैं ही हूँ भाई. We are all really looking forward to the film, and I'm so excited. I have so many questions. मेरे पास इतने सवाल हैं लोगों के लिए. Tell me. Raja, I want to know one thing from you. I was recently, मेरी birthday थी 2 दिन पहले, 3 days, 4 days back was my birthday, and the media was asking me how to make a pan-India film. So I did not know how to answer that. I said pan-India, so I gave some vague answer. But I want to know from you, because you're the only one who's actually made it. Listen to the question coming from AK. Listen to the question coming from AK. The film that we have all seen and loved, which has become the biggest hit of Indian cinema. Bahubali 2, मैं गिरने वाला. Bahubali 2 is the biggest hit of Indian cinema, and it's truly a pan-India film. So how do you do that, and how do you connect with so many people across the country? Let me frankly tell you, not just because you're here, the first time classic star cast for RRR who gave their time to me, that's why how I could make this film. No, it's so lovely. I'm really dying to see it. Alia, how was it working with the three of them? How was it working with the three of them? How was Raja to work with? It's nice. How was it to work with Rajamouli sir?
It was surreal. First I was pinching myself that I'm working with the... No, but they're really lovely. They're extremely...